All right, we just finished up 3-4 notes. Now we're going to look at 3-5. A little different here. In 3-5, we're going to be dividing decimals and whole numbers by other decimals. And we cannot, as we learned today, we cannot have a decimal in our divisor, which is the outside number. So we've got to make that a whole number. And whenever we change something on the outside, we got to change it on the inside too before we move our decimal up for our answer. So when you're doing your homework, just follow these steps, one after the other, and just be real methodical, like we've been doing everything else. Be real methodical, and you'll be fine with your answer. So I'm going to use this example here. It's 1.68 divided by 0.3. I'm going to write that over here. 1.68 divided by 0.3. Now, like I said, we can't have a decimal in our divisor out here. So we're going to have to move it to the end. Looks like we're just going to multiply by 10 to make it a whole number. But as soon as I did that out there, it means I have to do it on the inside number in my dividend. So I'm going to move it the same number of times in the same direction. So I just move it once to the right. Now I can move it straight up. But I couldn't do it before, not until I moved it. So now it's 3 into 16.8. 3 goes into 16 5 times. And then 3 goes into 18 6 times. Make sure your columns stay lined up. 3 goes into 16 5 times, so the 5 goes right above the 6. And then 3 goes into 18 6 times, so the 6 will go right above the 8 in the 18. And then that decimal is supposed to fall right in between, 5.6. All right, and then we also learned that we might have to add some zeros. So our problem for this one was 6 divided by 0.25. Now, like I said, we can't have a decimal outside. So in this case, we're going to move it twice to the right. Now, I don't have a decimal on the inside number, so I'm going to use the given decimal that's at the end of every whole number. So I'm going to move it twice to the right, but I have to fill these gaps. I'm going to fill them with zeros. Now, the decimal's after the 2 zeros, and then I'm going to move my decimal up. Then I can divide 25 into 600. 25 won't go into 6. It will go into 60 twice. And then 25 into 100 4 times. Make sure you keep those columns lined up. And that's it. I have no more remainder, so it's 24 as my answer. Now let's do some of these examples down here. Again, if I have a decimal on the outside in my divisor, I'm going to have to move it to the end. Moved it once to the right, so move it once to the right on the inside. And then the decimal goes straight up. Please notice that I'm putting my decimal in its place first, and then I'm going to divide like normal. 52 will not go into 36, but it will go into 364. Let's think of how many times that might work. I'm going to go with a number that if I multiplied by 2, I would get a 4 at the end. So that could be 2. It's not 2, because that would be 104. So what other number would end with a 4? Let's see, 3, no. 4, no. 5, no. 6, no. 7. 7 does, so let me try 7. 52 times 7 is 364. That's exactly what I wanted. And that's going to go right above the 4 in 364. So 0.7 is going to be my answer. All right, number 3, I'm going to move it twice to the right, so move it twice to the right. And then it goes straight up. So now it's 9 into 3,645. 9 will go into 36 4 times. Keep your columns lined up. 9 will go into 4 0 times. Don't need to do another row. Now it's 9 into 45 5 times. And then I'm done. But don't forget that 0. All right, 405 is your answer. All right, I'm going to need to move this 2 to the right, 1, 2. Move this 2 to the right, 1, 2. 59 will go into 71 times. And then 59 into 118 exactly twice. And then I'm done. 1.2 is my answer. And then this last one, 1.6. I need to move that over once. And in this case, I don't have a decimal, so I'm going to have to add 1 and move it over once and add a 0. then that decimal is going to go straight up. So then it's 16 into 80, and that goes exactly 5 times. And I'm done. So 5 is my answer. All right, remember to keep these notes with you when you're doing your homework, and email me if you have any questions.